He was a farmer, a soldier, a revolutionary, and the man who walked away from power when he could have ruled forever. This is the true story of George Washington, the unlikely father of the United States of America. Born in 1732 in Westmoreland County, Virginia, George Washington wasn't born into royalty or even vast wealth. He was the son of a tobacco planter. As a young man, he didn't have the formal education of many future leaders, no university, no law degree. What he had instead was grit. By his early 20s, Washington was already serving as a major in the Virginia militia during the French and Indian War. At just 22, he was sent into the wild, unforgiving backwoods of the Ohio Valley and nearly died in more than one ambush. But even through defeat, he gained what would serve him for life: experience in leadership under fire. Fast forward to 1775. The colonies were restless. The fires of revolution were sparking. The Continental Congress needed someone to lead their untrained army against the greatest military power in the world, Britain. They chose Washington. He wasn't the most experienced general. He wasn't the loudest voice in Congress. But he was a unifier, a man respected from Massachusetts to Georgia. And when he took command of the Continental Army, he faced an impossible task. His troops were hungry, poorly armed, barefoot in the snow at Valley Forge. But Washington stood with them, cold, tired, and determined. That winter of 1777 to 1778 nearly broke the army. But it didn't break him. When others wanted to quit, he held the line. When hope seemed lost, he rallied them. And eventually, with the help of allies like France, Washington led the American colonies to victory. In 1781, British General Cornwallis surrendered at Yorktown, and the war was won. Now, here's where the story takes a turn most people didn't expect. After the war, Washington could have taken power. Some even wanted to make him king. But instead, he went home. He returned to Mount Vernon, to his farm. He had no desire to rule, only to retire. But in 1789, the people called on him once again. Reluctantly, Washington became the first president of the United States. He served 2 terms, setting traditions we still follow today, like the peaceful transfer of power and refusing to serve for life. He wasn't perfect. He struggled with the issue of slavery, a contradiction in a man who spoke of liberty but owned slaves himself. Late in life, he made the bold choice to free them in his will, the only founding father to do so. In 1797, after 8 years as president, George Washington did what few leaders in history ever had. He stepped down for good. No crown, no throne, just a citizen walking away. He died 2 years later, in 1799. And when word spread, people across the globe mourned. Napoleon in France ordered 10 days of mourning. Britain's navy lowered its flags. The world recognized that Washington had done something extraordinary, not just win a war, but show the world how a republic could survive. First in war, first in peace, and first in the hearts of his countrymen. That was George Washington, not just the face on the dollar bill, but a man of action, honor, and humility. A man who could have ruled forever, but chose instead to lead and then let go. Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed this real story from history, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more calm, soothing talks.